same double Peter.
I want to talk to you.
Not now, later.
No, now.
You never want to pick up. You never want to do the things.
I'm back after a 2-year hiatus. It's funny, I was watching back some of my old videos, and one of them I actually just started crying in, thinking about my day job of cold calling, and I thought that was really funny. But I'm making a comeback. Today I'm going to be doing an unboxing of someone's record collection that got donated to me. So thank you so much to the donor. It's really sweet of her. I haven't looked through it at all yet, so I have no idea what's in there. My audience, or some of my audience, is a little bit older, so maybe they've lived through these records, in which case I would love your input on them and information that I just don't know because I just didn't grow up on it, and a lot of this stuff just isn't talked about anymore. So it kind of is like this history book pretty much that I never got to live through, so I'm not super aware of everything that went down in these years, which I assume might make me seem pretty naive, maybe a little, I don't know, stupid like to talk about this, but I just think it's really fun and I love getting more information from you guys. So if you can, please leave some comments about any albums that you saw today, anything that you feel I should learn more about or need more information on or should stop talking about. Wow, I like forgot how to film these videos. I don't know what I'm doing. Alright, so the first one I'm pulling out here, it is a Diana Ross record. It's a really awesome cover actually. And it looks like it hasn't really been opened. There's so many records I find that are used that are like half sleeved. I love this. I actually was able to see Diana Ross, maybe it was like 5 years ago now, at the Banquet Pavilion in Seaport, Boston. And it was amazing. Like, honestly, she killed it. She wore this big, like, sparkly gown, and she looked phenomenal. She sounded really great, and I'm so fortunate that I got to see her. It's an orchestra show at the Manson Theater, so that's really cool that I believe it's live. It's a little bit about Billie Holiday here, saying that she was an important part of her life. The quote from her, "It was at a nice point in my life when I realized it was wonderful to be young and black. But to be gifted and know what you wanted to do, that was doubly dynamic, doubly important. I knew there were a lot of other artists who had gone before me, all of them writing, painting, acting, singing, dancing, reaching for the stars, saying I am and I'm going to be." That's actually a really great point of kind of knowing what your passion is and being able to pursue it, because there's actually people that really struggle to find their purpose and their passion. So I think bringing up that point is really cool. Let me see what songs are on here. The Lady is a Tramp. Love that as much as I love Sinatra's version. Working Girl. Lady Sings the Blues is on here. Stormy Weather is another one of my favorites. Baby Love, I absolutely loved hearing that one live. Someday We'll Be Together is a great, great song. Stop in the Name of Love. Yeah, she just has so many classics, and of course, Ain't No Mountain High Enough. I Love You, Olivia Newton-John, and Rest in Peace, The World Is Not the Same Without You. This one is in really good shape, and I love her. She's such an icon. I just want this type of hairstyle to come back. And the flowers in it, it looks so good. Here's another Olivia Newton-John, which again, I love seeing her face. Marlo Thomas and Friends. So this looks like a kid's record, which is actually so cute. I've been collecting and making a little record collection for my nephew. This would be a perfect one to add to it. I think it's just such a cute idea if you have any kids in your family to start them a little record collection. Like, why not start them, strong? And the covers make really good decorations too, if you're decorating a nursery. This one I'm so excited for. This is the Mamas and the Papas Deliver album. So obviously they're best known for their song California Dreaming and Dream a Little Dream of Me, Monday Monday, Dancing in the Street. But this particular album really, well, it has, I guess, some covers. It doesn't have their most famous songs, but I think that's good because I can get to learn the other stuff. I love this cover. It's so much fun. On the back, it has some astrology like notes. So it says something about Sun in Virgo, Sun in Gemini. Oh, I'm sorry. It's the band members' signs, which is really cool. So John is a Sun in Virgo, Denny Sun in Sag, Cass Sun in Virgo, and it actually gives like the description of what that means. So as like a quick note, so the Sun in Virgo, you are dominated and motivated by your intellectual interest. Sun in Gemini, you are romantic, charming, alluring. Sun in Sag, you have nervous energy, but it's your strength. That, I wish that was me. Cass, Sun in Virgo, you are full of vitality, good spirits, and fun. I think it's really cool that they included this because it actually says a lot about the band members and maybe how they work together and what sorts of things that they bring to the table from a personality kind of perspective. It's actually the same. Ooh, Double Peter. And I have an Aerosmith album! And I don't see this one often. I definitely don't own this one, so I'm so happy to have this. This has Draw the Line, I Want to Know Why, Critical Mass, Get It Up, blah, 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 Milk House Blues. And it does come with this slipcover. I think they use this on all their albums. But let me check what year this album came out. Okay, so this came out in 1977, so like prime 70s, a little bit more before like 80s kind of flow inspiration came in. So I think this will be really cool to listen to. This is oh my god, I'm actually so happy about this. This is a James Taylor album with some of literally all my favorite songs on it. This came out in 1976. It's got Something in the Way She Moves, Carolina in My Mind, Fire and Rain, Sweet Baby Jane's, Country Road, You've Got a Friend. Basically all of his like best songs. Shower the People, How Sweet It Is. This is really, really awesome to own. I have his album Sweet Baby James, I think it is, but I don't have this one. I have another kids one here, and this is actually perfect for the winter season coming up. It's a Disney Christmas favorite, so it has all the Christmas classics, and I just think it's so cute. I can't wait to play this for my nephew and celebrate such a fun season. I love having seasonal records. Like for Halloween and even like Valentine's Day. It just makes it so fun. So this is Bad Company's Straight Shooter. Also a really cool album cover that I think would make really cool decor. This is basically an English rock band. This is their second studio album. This one has a bite in it. So I'm probably gonna get rid of this. Ooh, this is a nice Eric Clapton album. It has another one of those. This seems to be a popular design. So that when you open it, it makes this big image. Again, really cool for decor too. And I love Eric Clapton, so I'm really excited to give this a listen. Here's the inside cover. So Slow Hand is actually his 5th studio album, and it was released in '75. And one fun fact that I actually do know about Eric Clapton. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I just walked up the stairs. He was coined the nickname Slow Hand because he used to restring his guitar in between his songs instead of like having a crew member do it, which obviously like takes a bit of time. Like retuning your guitar is one thing, we see that happen on stage all the time, but he would actually restring it, which is something I still haven't mastered. I think it's a difficult process, but anyway, he did that himself in between songs, and it caused him to have these really long pauses or breaks in between his songs, and I guess the crowd would start to kind of like break out in a slow clap, and I guess that's how he got the name Slow Hand. But I think it really shows how dedicated he was to his art and his instrument, and maybe it was like a trust thing. He didn't trust people to string it correctly, which that would totally be me. But also the pressure of having to like restring the guitar on stage I think is so funny. But yeah, obviously he knew his instrument very well, and that's something he wanted to do on his own, and I really respect that. I'm back from a short hiatus. I left to do one thing and then I was gone all day and basically forgot that I was filming this. 10, 15, maybe 20 records left. This is The Sound of Music. You know, we know it, we love it. It just like brings me good vibes, you know. The movie is just like so happy and cute, and it's so old, but it doesn't feel like too old. It's a long movie, I will say that. But I absolutely love the music in it. Like, it makes me so genuinely happy. Linda Ronstadt. I don't know who Linda is, but she looks really cool. Should I know who Linda is? Is this embarrassing? Okay, so she's an American singer who performed and recorded in diverse genres including rock, country, light opera, and the Great American Songbook, and Latin music. How do you do all that? That actually is really cool to me because I have a very interdisciplinary outlook on things. It's actually what I majored in college, which means I didn't want to have an expertise in one area. I wanted to have a broad genre and knowledge of music, art, business. And I feel like Linda is kind of vibing with me on that level. Yeah, her career kind of launched in the 60s. But yeah, I haven't heard too much about her. Which I think, like, we have so many musicians that are just famous their entire life. But I think it would be so cool to just pop off in, like, your 20s, maybe your 30s, and then just fall off the map for, like, the rest of your life. Because you have a little bit of money. You don't want to get too greedy. You just want to, you know, feel that little bit of, like, fame, money, and then just, like, chill for the rest of your life. Why don't more artists and musicians and famous people do that? Like, I do get it that it's, like, a passion and a love, so you do want to continue doing it, but you don't need to do it, like, on that level of, like, fame, because obviously fame doesn't have the best effect on people. And I don't know, that just made me think of that. But anyway, I'd like to listen to Linda. She looks really cool, and I just love that she has that cross-genre, like, experience. I'd love to kind of hear all her different sounds and kind of see maybe if there's one that she, like, really excelled at or whatever. We have a Glenn Miller. We have a Captain, whatever. I don't know who that is, sorry. Bryan Adams. Okay, this is actually awesome to have. I love that I have this. Cuts Like a Knife is on here. Take Me Back This Time. What's It Gonna Be? The Best Is Yet to Come. Probably know him for his songs like Summer of '69 and I Do It For You. Definitely I heard him first with the song Summer of '69, which I still listen to every summer. And I hope Bryan knows that. He's actually a Canadian musician, which I didn't realize. He was so popular in the US, and I feel like Summer of '69 is such like a American vibe, you know? Not that he like maybe didn't move to the US, but I don't know, yeah. And yeah, he's described as one of the best-selling music artists of all time, and he's sold 75 million 100 million records and singles worldwide. I would like love to like sit here and read his whole story, so maybe I will do that one day. This one I know I've seen before. It's Seals and Crofts. Get Closer. I say Summer Breeze is like the same as Bryan Adams' Summer of '69, just one of those like classic summer hits that I could listen to on repeat. Summer Breeze makes me feel fine, floating through the jasmine in my mind. Like, is there anything more like peaceful sounding? That is like a heavenly song to me. But anyway, this song is not even on here, so I'll stop talking about it. This album was released in 1976, and the song Summer Breeze was released in 1972. So this was post their kind of big hit. It's their 8th studio album, and the title cut did make the top 10 on 2 charts in this year in 1976. Reaching number 6 in pop, number 2 in adult it would be their final top 10 pop hit, Goodbye Old Buddies. So this kind of was towards like the end of their career, but still think it's a really special album, and I'm excited to have it, listen to it. Love Saturday Night Fever, will always love Saturday Night Fever. This movie is actually, and this album has really inspired my artwork, which you can probably tell with my disco prints and my disco floor tiles. Like, I literally have them in my room right now. So I always turn to this movie when I need inspiration. If I had to research the 70s, or someone asked me how do I learn more about the 70s, I would recommend this movie like 100%. It's also a really funny movie. I watched it more recently with my boyfriend, and like, it's definitely different than today's times. Like, there's some things that probably would not be kept in there. Kind of like the family dynamic. So like John Travolta being the son, like seeing him with like his dad and his family, definitely kind of like a harsh family environment. But the second he would like step on the dance floor, he's like a new man. I just thought it was so interesting watching this movie and like seeing the whole lifestyle of that time. Then we have a John Denver. This guy must have been so huge in the 60s, 70s. See his records all the time at the thrift. All the time. I'm so happy to have another Christmas album. This is White Christmas by Dennis Day. And it's actually a beautiful cover. It has White Christmas, Come All Ye Faithful, The First Noel. Very traditional songs. I'm excited to hear a rendition of them. I always love hearing different covers of Christmas songs and music, because there's obviously like the staples and the classics like Frank Sinatra I will always listen to. I hope people continue to create renditions of them, and I think they will. And I think it's so cool that the same songs are played every year. Like, what other time of year or in what other aspect do you play the same song every year? Think about that. Okay, so we have a Dean Martin. Absolutely love Dean Martin. He's right up there with Frank Sinatra for me. Just like the coolest guys of the decade. And this particular record, Remember Me, I'm the One Who Loves You. That's kind of like, One Who Loves You is a 1965 album. His 5th studio album. Was on the top 40. Did peak at number 12. And I guess this was the debut of Martin's long-running TV series, The Dean Martin Show. I've never watched that. Should I watch that? Yeah, I definitely think that Dean Martin had like a really incredible career in terms of like music and movies, and I love that we saw so much of that in that decade, and I think we're seeing less of it. Like, I can't picture Justin Bieber in a movie, and I feel like actors are actors and musicians are kind of musicians at this point. I don't know, let me know what you think. Another album for my nephew. This is Sesame Street Sing Along. It's a little dirty, but I think it's so cute that all these records like come with the lyrics too. There's a Steely Dan. Ooh, this one has Reelin' in the Heat. This is actually a greatest hits album from 1972 to 1978. Ooh, so I have a Chicago album, and it does not look like this. This one's really different. This one's in really good condition. I mean, this is the most interesting scene like going on here. There's so much happening. Like, I don't know why, but this one is so clean. Like, it feels like brand new. Then we have a Cat Stevens, which I'm so excited about. He is so colorful and cool, and I feel like it fits his like music so well. I love the inside cover here. This album, this particular one, came out in 1977. Something, I don't know why I remember this about Cat Stevens. He was really into like meditation and yoga, and I think that's really cool. I think that fits kind of like his music too. It's just like really relaxing and like positive. And it's also crazy to think that Cat Stevens actually wrote the song The First Cut is the Deepest, which is probably more of a song we all know, by Sheryl Crow. Sheryl Crow or Rod Stewart. Stewart. And I'm so happy to have a Paul Simon. I already have this one, but I really love Paul Simon. And this is his greatest hits album. So we have Still Crazy After All These Years, Have a Good Time, Do It for Love, 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. I have some pretty specific childhood memories of 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. I think it's kind of a fun, it could be like a kid song because it's just like so peppy and rhymey, and like I remember hearing that as a kid and just like loving it because it was like just so fun, so different too. So we have a Streisand album here, who I know just must have been absolutely huge in the 70s. This is her album Guilty. Oh my god, I just looked this up. This is Barbara's 22nd studio album. I mean, I look a lot into like 4th and 5th albums being kind of like ending of a career. This is her 22nd. And this one, cool fact, was actually helped produced by Barry Gibb of the Bee Gees. So you might be able to hear a little bit of that influence. Absolutely love the Bee Gees. Yeah, it says it here. So the song Guilty and the song What Kind of a Fool. And this bad boy sold over 15 million copies. 15 mil. Wait. Oh my gosh. This is not in a sleeve, which breaks my friggin' heart. This is a Beach Boys album that I do not see often at all. I'll show you guys the cover. This is another one of those 23rd studio album. Oh my god, this is so disappointing. It actually says it was a critical and commercial failure. But then it says it peaked at number 100 in the US. So what does that mean? A lot of solo recordings from Dennis Wilson and Brian Wilson. Okay, so yeah, I think at this point they were having some conflicts between the band members, some drug abuse issues. I think it's saying when the tour ended and after returning to LA, Brian ran away on a days-long drug binge and was discovered lying under a tree at Balboa Park. And I'm still gonna listen to this. I'll let you guys know what I think. Follow me on Instagram. I'll probably post it there. Ooh, we've hit gold. Little gold because this says Gold Record Award. I didn't even see that. This is a Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young album. And it's falling out, which probably is not a good sign. Also talented in different ways. But this is the album Deja Vu. And it was released in 1970. And the top singles on this one were Woodstock, I believe, Teach Your Children, and Our House, of course. That's definitely one of my favorites. I listen to it still to this day all the time. It's actually been re-released a couple times in 1977, and then in the 2000s at some point it was re-released. And it's in Rolling Stone magazine as like the greatest rock albums, 500 greatest rock albums of all time, which I think it definitely earns a spot there. I think it was Stills that quoted this album took over 800 hours of work went into this album, which makes it feel so precious. I'm just kind of reading this. A couple of these sessions, it was Crosby that had just dealt with a recent death of his girlfriend Christine, so he would actually just break down and cry. He quoted, "He was not at his best as a functioning person, completely unable to deal with it." So to be able to come out with this during that situation is so devastating. Cool. This is another Chicago one, and it's a two record set. It's a little dirty, but that's okay. Oh my god, I'm so excited about this. This is a live U2 record. I don't think I own any U2, which is crazy. It's one of my dad's favorites. That and like Springsteen. One came out in 1983. Got Sunday Bloody Sunday, which is one of my favorites. Party Girl, Gloria, 11 O'Clock TikTok. and like 40, a few others. I really love that this is live, because I've looked into a little bit of like U2 live, and I think he just puts on a great show and just has so many hits. And sorry, I didn't mention it, this is the album Under a Blood Red Sky, and it's a special low price. Okay, the great oldies done here and now. So this kind of wraps up a ton of rock and roll hits from the 50s to the 60s, so it's kind of an everything album. It has a pretty cool slipcover. Jimmy Reed, Chuck Berry, Jerry Lee Lewis. Those are the ones that I recognize. This would be a really good one to kind of look into and study a little bit of that like earlier rock and roll, and maybe see how it really influenced 70s, 80s, all the years. Cool. This is my last one. It's another roundup, out of the word. Best hits album, I think. Oh my god, and it's actually Boston based here. New radio in Boston. 30 now, Golden's 30. And it's a really cool cover, so I love that. Let's see who I recognize. I actually don't recognize much, but yeah, I'm assuming this is from the year 68. I don't know if these are all like Boston-based artists. I guess released from a radio station in Boston, which is really cool. I haven't heard of it currently, so WRKO AM, I guess maybe I have heard of that. 680, The Voice of Boston. First and only nightly sports betting show. Okay, that's why I don't know it. Yeah, that's all my albums. I feel like I just went through like a roller coaster of emotions, because I get like so excited and then I'm like, oh, this person was literally like dying when they wrote this album. And then I'm like, oh shit, like that's really sad. And I don't really feel those emotions until I actually listen to the album. So if you see me getting really excited about an album, it's just because I'm not listening to it currently, and actually like listening to sad music. I get excited about it. I released some new sweatshirts. They're on carlysvinyls.com, Carly's Vinyls Etsy, TikTok shop. Those are kind of the three places you're gonna find me, mostly for items that I'm selling. And yeah, I really love these. They come in all sorts of colors, and I have lots of new products out, stickers, bookmark, new record art, new disco prints, so feel free to check them out, please. And I actually just made this piece. I was inspired by kind of a trend going around that's like, if you look it up on Pinterest, it's basically like circle art, and it's just all things that are circles, so, and kind of like creating a collage out of it. So you'll see a ton of kind of similar inspiration on this. I think it's a really cool trend. I love that circle art is trending, because that is what I do with records, and I used to do a lot more CD work, but it's cool. These actually are all CDs here, repurposed, so it's nice to kind of get back into working with CDs. And so I might make this one a print. I think it's cool. What do you guys think? I'm going to try and post once a month on YouTube. I have it in my little calendar up here. And depending on, when I get donated records, I really love going through them with you guys. So thank you guys so much again for watching, and I'll see you soon.